Two things. I've been through like over a million meds and I'll try to get the most of them, but I may miss a few of them or may just not add a couple in just depending on how long this video goes. Secondly, this video is called Schizo Med Tier List, but not every medicine I talk about is going to be FDA approved for schizoaffective bipolar or schizophrenia. It's pretty much just a tier list of which meds I've used and how they've affected my condition and psychotic features. People think conditions like bipolar and ADHD are like these quirky self-diagnosis labels they can use to substitute for a lack of personality. They think bipolar is just, oh, I get angry, sad, and happy at random times, which, yes, that can be someone's type of bipolar, but a good handful of the time, I think I've read somewhere that it's like half of all bipolar patients, it comes with psychotic symptoms like manic episodes and psychosis. Especially ADHD when it comes to self-diagnosis. That's probably like the most self-diagnosed disorder. It's usually more than just, oh, I can't concentrate. But anyways, let's start this. Oh yeah, also a disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by any of these meds. Okay, if I was, I would be living in a fucking mansion by now and not going to college for an IT degree. Starting out with the first medicine I was ever put on, Zoloft. This is a classic antidepressant classified as an SSRI. That pretty much means that it acts on a feel-good chemical called serotonin, which when it works, it makes you feel pretty calm, relieves anxiety and depression, which brings me to a good point, okay? My experience with these medicines do not affect how they will make you feel, okay? Some people take certain meds and they fix their entire life. Some will take the same med and make them feel like an even worse version of themselves, but Zoloft, right? I'd give this one a C. For the most part, it did help with anxiety. It made me less afraid of people and much more calm. But three things, okay? One, it made me calm, yes, but it also made me a bit apathetic. Two, at this time in my life, I was doing YouTube and it kind of drained my creativity, just a tiny amount. It did make me less psychotic though. You can't have a manic episode if you don't have any feelings to go off of. Thirdly, the main reason I quit it and the major reason I quit the majority of, the meds on this tier list, it made my dick not work. Yup. Doctors be like, I know how to cure your depression. I'll give you erectile dysfunction. Enjoy. I remember trying to beat off in the bathtub. Yes, I beat off in the bathtub. That way everything just goes down the drain when I'm done. I'm not a caveman that busts into a fucking sock. I was beating off in the bathtub and I was like, how come I can't nut? Immediately got off that shit, and for a while after that, I wasn't on anything. Zoloft, definitely C tier. Next up, I think this is the second medicine they put me on. This was shortly after my psychosis at a certain college I got banned from because they didn't realize what was happening. I don't mind, but valproic acid or valproic acid, I forget which one it's called. You know that one bar that Earl says on December 24th? He's like, bad acid did damage to my mental. This is the acid this nigga was talking about. This shit took away my feelings just like Zoloft did, and it also made me gain a lot of weight. If I remember correctly, I think they also put me on Depakote at the same time, so maybe I can't give it a good rating, but if I could, I'd give it a D, okay? Didn't really help with much and only had negative side effects. Next up, Prozac or fluoxetine. This is like one of the most used SSRIs. I think they gave it to me right after the Depakote. I'm honestly not too sure if it made me even more psychotic, to be honest. It did help a little with the depression, but overall a pretty underwhelming medicine. Oh yeah, it also made me pick a fight with a customer at my job. Remember this one guy was talking shit to my coworker, and out of nowhere I just got really angry and was like, get out of the car, bro, to the guy, ready to square up. And I'm usually a pretty pacifistic person, so I stopped taking it after that. Actually, scratch that. The reason I actually stopped taking it was because it made my dick not work, just like the Zoloft did. Gotta give this one a C. Next up, Risperidol, or sometimes called Risperidone. I'd actually give this one a B tier. It was really good like the first 2 days I took it, and then it kind of just went downhill from there. First day I took it was the most serene calm I'd ever felt. The longer I took it, the more weight I gained. It also made my nipples grow to man boobs and also lactate. It was so embarrassing. I almost, got my nipples surgically reduced, but I didn't go through with it because over time, after I quit it, my nipples reduced back to their normal size. This medicine also zapped everything from me. If I could give a separate grade to each time frames of the risperidol, the first 2 days would be S tier and the remaining days would be F tier, okay? Fuck it. Negative X tier, okay? Fuck that medicine. But yeah, B tier medicine all over. Next up, we got Vyvanse. I'd give this one a B. It helped a lot with my focus, but overall it made me even more psychotic and paranoid. There were times I take it and it feels super euphoric, made a nigga feel like he was on top of the sun chilling, yo. 6 feet underneath the sun chilling. Other than that, the paranoia really sucked, so they took me off of that, but yeah, B tier medicine. Next up, we got bupropion. I believe this is an SNRI or DNRI. I forget, don't quote me, okay? Some people call it Wellbutrin. A tier medicine. I give it an A tier medicine. The only issue I really had with this med was that it made me feel wired as fuck. It also fucked with my dick, but not to the extent the other aforementioned meds did. In fact, this medicine usually helps people with ED, which I guess I was just an anomaly to. It gave me more energy and took away some of the agitation and irritation I felt. Still a lot of intrusive thoughts though, but other than that, it wasn't so bad. A tier. Next up, we got olanzapine. This was the medicine they put me on after I had my second manic episode / psychosis. F tier drug for me. I've gone back and forth on the med and it has pretty mixed results. But the majority of the time, it just made me feel like shit and gave me humongous brain fog. F tier medicine. I remember having an interview for like this one IT job, and it honestly just made me feel stupid the entire interview. Granted, I was really nervous, but the medicine did not help at all. F tier. Next up, we got lithium. Oh boy, where would I place lithium? Somewhere between B and C tier. Another inconsistent med. For the most part, it made me bored and lose interest in a lot of stuff I like. Maybe I was just on too high of a dose. I'm gonna try to experiment with it again. It also made me lose a lot of reaction speed, and I play League. I main ADC, all right, so my reaction speed is literally all I have to enjoy playing my favorite game with. Sometimes it would make me really confident, but other times it'd make me just really depressed. It also fucked with my dick like the other meds, but on a whole different level. Like, it not only gave me ED, but also made me lose my libido, which is a whole nother monster. Overall, not too bad by itself. It didn't help with the intrusive thoughts, but it was pretty underwhelming. Sometimes made me less depressed, but that's about it. I'm gonna try it again, actually, because maybe I was taking something else at the time, but I would probably give it maybe a B plus, actually. Yeah, I give it a B plus. Next up, we got Topamax, literal Shadow Realm tier. This shit was actual garbage. It did nothing for me, and anytime I nutted, the ejaculation went backwards. Yeah, very weird drug for me. Again, Shadow Realm tier. Next up, wait, there's more? Yes, nigga, there's more. Next up, we got Lamictal, sometimes called Lamotrigine. This is a mood stabilizer. I'd give it maybe a B plus. Super mixed results on this medicine, especially since the first few days I took it, it made my libido on fire. If I had a wife or a girlfriend at the time, like, she'd probably think she was the most lovable woman in the world. After the initial few days, it made my dick stop working. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes it helped quiet my thoughts though. I think the first day I took it, my head was extremely clear. I remember taking too much one day and it had like the opposite effect and made me super irritable. But yeah, Lamictal, B tier. B plus tier, yeah. Next up, we got Vraylar. It is an antipsychotic. I took this right after getting off of bupropion, and it was pretty underwhelming. I'd give it a C tier. It made my libido really dull. It made me feel kind of flat, but the first couple of weeks, it gave me a ton of energy. Not really much else to say about it. C tier. Next up, we got Buspirone. All right, this is not bupropion. This is something different called Buspirone. I'd give it a B tier. It is an anxiolytic. I don't know if I'm saying that properly. It made me really anxiety free, actually. It didn't help with my focus in the slightest, but my anxiety was pretty much non existent. Now, this medicine is supposed to increase your libido, okay? What do you think it did for me? Huh? That's right, the complete opposite. And yes, I did quit it because of that, but overall it wasn't too bad. Took like a week and a half to kick in, but again, not too bad. B tier. Next up, we got the last one I'll talk to y'all about because this video is getting super long. Abilify. This is the one I'm currently on, and I'd give it an S tier, maybe triple S tier. It takes away most of my negative thoughts without making me uncreative. It also deletes my depression and makes me somewhat productive. Okay, y'all are probably wondering why I've been uploading again. It's because I've been taking this medicine. You know, it helps a bunch with my focus too, without making me a zombie like other meds I've taken, like Concerta. Then again, Concerta is a stimulant and Abilify is antipsychotic, so maybe it's not fair to compare the two so directly. That being said, this med also messes with my dick a little bit. Fortunately for me, I have a prescription of Cialis with it, so it kind of neutralizes the med-induced ED. I only take like 5 milligrams of it because if you haven't already put together, I'm pretty sensitive to meds. Again, it's a really good med. I've been doing so much better in college with it. You know, I've started uploading more on my second channel, and I've actually been doing so much better on my favorite games now that my mind is so, you know, a little bit more clear now. I actually got to gold in League playing as ADC this season. I'm usually a plat gold player anyways, but only in jungle, mid, and support. Support being the easiest, jungle being my highest rank. ADC has always just had me stuck in bronze or low silver, but with Abilify, my movement and reaction time has become like so much more reactive and proactive, you know. I honestly like it a lot. But yeah, I hope this video was fun for you guys. Hope this helped some of you that are afraid to jump into the motherfucking drug Olympics. All right, I've only told y'all the majority of what I've been on, okay? Don't be too afraid of it. You know, it sucks going through so many meds and trying them out, but once you get the right one, it is pretty life-changing. But yeah, love y'all niggas. Peace. I'm not listening, there's something wrong with me. I think I'm losing my hearing. All I'm